Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Windows 8. After reviewing my 11.6-inch Asus touchscreen ultra portable notebook, I decided I would give you guys a review of Windows 8 because it's getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people hate it, some people like it. I actually do like it. I have favorable impressions, especially with the touchscreen, but it really depends on whether you're using this or this. And that's why I'm going to give you guys a review using the touchpad and a review using the touchscreen. So I'm going to show you what's best and what's worst. Method of usage. So, before I do any of that, I'm going to show you some of the main things that were added in Windows 8. So, this is a familiar thing. For all of us Windows users, this is home. For Windows 7, this was our main place that we hung out. So where we put everything was here, everything ran in here. There was no confusing, two different, areas. Whereas now, the main thing that Microsoft pushes in your face with Windows 8 is this. The start screen, which you will see everywhere in Windows 8. Windows 8 pushes this, definitely. When you click on a link, the default opens it in your start screen. Everything, if you have watch a video, you do it in your start screen. If you have music, you do it, listen to it in your start screen. All that can be changed, but once you get your PC upgrade, your PC to Windows 8, everything is going to be in this new interface, which is technically it's called the Metro interface. Everything is, there's no taskbar, everything is pretty much full screen, as you can see, things to watch by just clicking on there, on the start screen, by tapping there or clicking it, and things to launch just simply, and it's just full screen, everything's horizontal. With horizontal swiping, and you pretty much can do everything in this mode, except you're not going to want to, because desktop is what's familiar. And desktop is a little bit different. Windows look a little bit different, as you can see here. Everything's solid colors. The things have changed just a little bit. They look a little bit different than normal, than what you saw in Windows 8 or in Windows 7. They're just a little bit different. Everything is personalized. You can personalize all this. The only thing that's missing is right here, as you probably already noticed. Although they do give you a link, if you mouse all the way into there and click, then you can get to the start screen. But still, there's no place to click the start button for a lot of you Windows 7 users and any Windows user. That was just a classic Windows feature. I actually didn't use it that much, so I actually like this mode more. But that's because I use the touchscreen a lot more. So, one last thing I'm going to show you is, if you swipe in from the right here, it's a little bit tricky on the touchscreen, you get this date and time right here, your Wi-Fi, your battery, and then you get this little menu called Charge Menu. And right here you can do a search. I'm not in social media, I haven't done that too much. You can share stuff. You can view your devices. You can get to the start screen if you're in an app, and you can get the settings easily within any app. So that is kind of your start button placement almost, because you can access it anywhere, wherever you are, and it brings you the same exact stuff no matter where you are, whatever app you're in. If you swipe in from here, you can get to your recently used apps, and then if you swipe in this, you can snap two apps side by side and use two apps at once, or you can do like a U-turn when you're pulling that in and see all your recently used apps. Once I get to the start screen. So first off, I'm going to use the touchscreen. It feels very natural, very fun to swipe through this start screen. That's the main thing you'll see people doing in advertisements and everything for Windows 8. swiping through the start screen is just natural. That's just what you do. You can demonstrate this. It's natural. It's very fluid. It's fast. It's fun. It's kind of like you swipe through your iOS screens idly. It's just a way to kind of show off your device, kind of use it, and get used to using it. So the touchscreen on this is awesome. And in Windows 8, it is very cool. It's a simple way to navigate. Pretty much any app in this Metro interface, camera, music, calendar, video, news, contacts, all these things are going to work absolutely excellent with touch. Internet Explorer, i10, best version of Internet Explorer yet. That works great with touch. All these things are completely optimized for touch. Also, side note, I'm going to say, Xbox Music works absolutely great. Once you sign in, you can actually use, you can stream free music for free. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can listen for free with an occasional ad, like every 5 songs. That's a nice feature. So that's, it says you can browse for music, just look at that. And that's just a fun thing that you can do. And then on the left tile, it'll show you what's playing. And that's just a side note. Music app, really nice. But then swiping all through here, whatever you're doing in the Metro interface, it pretty much works great with touch. Then as soon as you tap this, that's when things start to get a little tricky. If you were using this as a tablet, you probably would never go into here. If you're using Windows 8 on a tablet, you probably would not use this very much. Things are very small and difficult difficult to touch. You'd have to have super small fingers to be able to touch everything, because if you look, you have to be very precise which way you tap, because it's difficult to do this. Even though you can do it, it's a lot harder to do it. It's much easier to do it with a mouse. Even though you're able to do it, but it really is a lot easier to do it with a mouse. Even though I have to admit, moving the desktop icons is pretty cool. So now I've heard you touch, I'm going to go into Trackpad usage. So this is what we're all used to as Windows users. We all got used to this. We're like, okay, what's up with touch? We've been used to Trackpad for so long, and even though touch is prevalent on phones, who said that had to be in a PC? Well, Microsoft pretty much decided that they were gonna put it in a PC. So that's what everything is centered around, is touch, except for the desktop mode. But everything else is touch. So if you move through the touchscreen, you can see you have to kind of do this kind of motion to keep things going here, and it's not as fluid, it's not as exciting as when you do it with a mouse, with a touchscreen. You can see it's much more fluid that way. But it still works. But then when you go into the music app here, you can see it's a little more clunky, like I'll say. It looks almost like you're emulating a touch operating system. When you touch it, it just doesn't feel as natural as touch in either Metro apps. So as you can see, I just hurried up and as fast as I could used the touch, because touch works best with these apps. But I mean, it's manageable, but it just doesn't feel as good. If you're using a trackpad, it just doesn't feel as natural. Of course, the desktop works great, but it kind of makes you feel like, well, I'm using a trackpad, and Windows 7 works best with a trackpad. Why do I need Windows 8 if it pretty much just messes things up and makes things confusing? So, as you can see, obviously, here, everything looks great. Just like in Windows 7, you can view everything, and everything is perfectly fine. You don't move your stuff around, everything is great. But then as soon as you go into this mode, it just doesn't work. It just, it's kind of clunky, it's a little strange. You can pin desktop icons in here, which is kind of helpful. But anything else that you do here, like with apps, it doesn't work as good at all. If you go into weather, you end up like doing this and stuff like that. It doesn't work as good as I would prefer it to work. Like I said, when you're using a touchscreen, it works absolutely amazing. But when you're using a trackpad, it just doesn't work as good. So my main verdict on Windows 8 would be, if you like the look of the start screen, which, how could you not? I mean, basically, if you like the Windows 8 start menu, if you like the idea of having touch on your PC, then seriously consider buying a Windows 8 touchscreen PC, or tablet, if you are willing to have your tablet run Windows. The Surface Pro is a great Windows 8 tablet. The Surface RT, limited light version of Windows, not that great. But the Surface Pro is a great tablet. There's also other options from Samsung and other PC makers. This laptop, I highly recommend it. 11.6 inches. It's a perfect sweet spot size. Take it anywhere. Use the touchscreen. Use the trackpad. It's got a great keyboard. It's real slim. Only like $450. It's the Asus Extro 2E. Go check out my review after this. I have it on my channel. So if you like this, the idea of doing this with your PC instead of this, consider buying a Windows 8 touchscreen PC. If you're not really into touch, then there's really no reason to buy the upgrade, to pay the $100 or however. I know it was $40 at first. I believe now it's like close to $100. It's just not worth it to pay the upgrade for a Windows 7 PC, because almost no Windows 7 PCs have touchscreens. It's very rare for a Windows 7 PC to have a touchscreen. So if you have just the average Windows 7 PC, keep Windows 7 on it. For your sake, just don't bother upgrading, because it doesn't flow as well, especially after using it with a touchscreen. And then from going to it without a touchscreen, I realized it just is so much better with a touchscreen that it's not even worth it to do it if you just have a trackpad or a mouse. So if you have an existing Windows 7 PC that runs properly, don't bother with Windows 8. And don't also bother buying a Windows 8 PC without a touchscreen. Either buy the touchscreen or just keep a Windows 7 PC, because it doesn't flow without touch. So so that's pretty much it. That's Windows 8 in a nutshell. Also be sure to check out my review of the Asus Extro 2E. It's a great laptop if you want touch, but pretty much if you don't want touch, don't bother with Windows 8. If you do, there's lots of great options for you then. Thanks for watching. This is my Windows 8 review.